A son's fury when a stranger walks into his mother's funeral claiming to be his father. The church was silent, except for the soft echo of the priest's voice. Daniel, 28, sat stiffly in the front row, his hands clutching the folded obituary. His mother had raised him alone. The only time she ever spoke about his father was when she told him that she was too young when she met him, that he wasn't ready to have a baby. She never used his name, so Daniel had no idea what he looked like, only that he had brown hair and green eyes because, well, Daniel had those too. Then the door creaked open. Daniel's head snapped up. A tall man in his 50s walked in. He looked tired. The lines on his face and the rumpled suit he wore told a story of long, hard days. Daniel couldn't help but stare. The man's face was kind, framed by wisps of graying brown hair that fell over his forehead. He walked slowly but steadily toward the casket, stopping by the bench where Daniel sat just long enough to place a single white rose on it before whispering something into the coffin. Daniel felt a sudden rush of anger. Who was this guy? What did he want? The stranger didn't sit in the back with the other mourners. He just stood by the casket, head bowed, shoulders shaking slightly. Daniel watched him, confused and angry, until the priest began the service. It was only then that Daniel noticed the man's eyes were closed. He wasn't just tired, he was grieving. As the service ended and the guests filed past the casket, Daniel stopped them. "Who are you?" he asked, surprised by how sharp his voice sounded. The man opened his eyes, startled. He took a deep breath and turned to Daniel. "I'm your father." The words hung in the air. Daniel shook his head, unable to speak. He glanced at the casket, then back at the man. "No, my father left before I was born." The man's gaze dropped to his hands. "I didn't leave," he whispered, his voice cracking. "I was sent away. Your mother's family didn't want me. They drove me away." He looked up, meeting Daniel's stunned gaze. "But I never stopped looking for you." He reached out a shaky hand, then pulled it back. "If you don't want, how did you find me?" Daniel asked, his voice softer now. "I saw the funeral notice in the paper," the man said. "I'm sorry if I startled you. Just wanted to say goodbye to your mother. She deserved more than the way things ended between us." As he turned to leave, Daniel suddenly felt a surge of emotion. All those years of wondering, of searching, of feeling abandoned, suddenly it all made sense. And a single tear escaped down his cheek. He stopped the man again. "Wait," he said, "you should at least tell me your side of the story." The man paused, and for the first time, Daniel noticed the sadness in his eyes. He nodded slowly. "Of course, Daniel, of course." And together, father and son walked out of the church, side by side. That was our story. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. See you next time.